Tonight, Wisconsin has representation again. The results are in for a special election for a congressional seat in the state. And after more layoffs announced at North America's largest iron ore plant, we're hearing from a local union president on what this means for workers. And high water levels on a troubled Wisconsin lake is causing one resident to pick up their house and move, literally.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is on assignment tonight. We'll have more from her shortly. It's special election night in Wisconsin, and we now know who will fill the congressional seat left vacant by Sean Duffy last fall. It was Democrat Tricia Zunker against Republican State Senator Tom Tiffany vying to represent Northwest Wisconsin in Washington. Here are the results in a race that was really never very close and called around 9 o'clock tonight. Tiffany emerged victorious with about 57% of the vote. That was as of about 9:40 tonight. Tiffany is a businessman. He's serving his second term in the Wisconsin State Senate. He was endorsed by President Donald Trump earlier this year. He was also backed by former Congressman Sean Duffy, who held the position for 8 years. The district has been vacant since Duffy's resignation. Tiffany was widely expected to defeat Zunker as the district has strong Republican ties. Tiffany defeated his Democratic opponent Tricia Zunker, who said tonight's election proves Democrats have momentum in Wisconsin. Zunker said in a statement tonight, quote, "Despite a global pandemic and the lack of universal mail-in voting, we showed what can be done, and we laid the groundwork for the seat to turn blue in November." In-person voting in Superior was extremely slow for this election. That's because about 4,200 people voted absentee. Superior City Clerk says they weren't expecting many to head to the 5 open polls. They also had more time to prepare for this election than for the April presidential primary. There were partitions in place to help with social distancing, and hand sanitizer was available. The majority of people we saw working at the polling places were wearing masks and gloves. Meanwhile, on the Iron Range, we're still waiting for results of voters who are deciding if the Eveleth, Gilbert, and Virginia school districts should become one. School officials say today's vote was about officially consolidating the school districts. If voters approve consolidating, there would be one school district. If they deny it, there will be 3 separate governing bodies. Again, we do not have results for this just yet, but votes are being tallied. Stick with CBS3 Online for those results. Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Hey, Dave, cooling down out there a little bit tonight.
But not as bad as it was this morning.
Yeah.
You know, 3 towns set records. It was awfully chilly. Clouds are increasing right now, and that's going to let temperatures become a bit warmer by tomorrow morning. But in between here today, after the chill of the morning, the winds calmed down, and so we got a beautiful picture like this coming in from Kevin Koval of Ely. There's Fall Lake, there's the power dam there, the Quishway River. Fishing was really nice, he said, because finally that wind broke, even if temperatures are still on the chillier side. Well, with the rain chance coming tomorrow, that low pressure system should help nudge temperatures up, maybe by Thursday. Tomorrow, still a little bit cool. Our day planner says the daytime high will top out around 53 degrees, which is at least 8 degrees cooler than normal. But after tomorrow's decent rain chance, we will start to warm up towards normal and beyond. I'll talk about how far beyond coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. The 4th Iron Range mine to be impacted by COVID-19 has officially laid off employees. In this week's Eye on Mining, CBS3's Kristen Vaki hears from the local union president on what this means for workers.
We'll work through it, and my biggest worry is that more go.
Steve Banach is union president for Local 1938. He represents more than 1,200 union brothers and sisters at Mintac. Now, nearly 200 of them are laid off.
Very frustrating. I know how they feel. I feel bad because I've been on that before, on that side of being laid off, and they're sitting on pins and needles.
Banach has worked at Mintac for decades and has experienced multiple layoffs, but never during a health pandemic.
This COVID-19 layoff, considered layoff, is a different story. We don't know.
He says the changes happened fast and without much notice. On May 1st, the union was told there would be layoffs, but Banach says it wasn't until layoffs were implemented that some workers found out they wouldn't be coming back for their next shift.
So we got calls all weekend on whether they were coming to work, not coming to work.
Banach says it has been tough, but there is a silver lining. Mintac is not shut down, which means people are still working and pellets are still being produced. The union meets with Mintac leadership multiple times a week, and as of now, they don't anticipate more layoffs.
I hope not. I'm not sure, but you can never underestimate that. It could happen. I'm not getting that feeling right now. We're keeping pretty good contact with the higher-ups.
As of now, Banach says he's told they are on schedule for one of the shutdown lines to restart on July 6th, which he hopes would bring an end to the layoffs. Meanwhile, in a statement, U.S. Steel President and Chief Executive Officer David Burritt said, quote, "Challenging days are ahead, but I am confident in the men and women at U.S. Steel who are continuing to make steel as a critical part of our nation's infrastructure." He added, "We remain calm and focused to ensure a stronger U.S. Steel for all of our stakeholders." Last week, more than 300 Wisconsinites were tested for COVID-19 at drive-through sites in Douglas and Ashland counties. Today, we're learning not a single test has come back positive so far. People showing symptoms of COVID-19 were invited to free drive-through testing locations like this one in Solon Springs last Wednesday. 171 people were tested there. Douglas County health officials say all of those tests did come back negative. In Ashland County, another drive-through site tested about 150 people on Thursday. Most of those tests have come back negative as well, but they're still waiting on several results. County health experts say while this is good news, it's not a sign to relax social distancing. The state of Minnesota reached its goal of testing 5,000 people in one day. Health Department Commissioner Jan Malcolm made that announcement today. She says yesterday, labs and hospitals in the state processed 5,053 tests. Malcolm says people should expect that number to continue growing as the state works to maximize testing infrastructure. If you have symptoms, you can use the state's COVID-19 dashboard to find a testing clinic near you. Meanwhile, Minnesota's governor signed 6 bills into law today covering a number of issues in the state. One law extends the COVID-19 Minnesota Fund, which was set to expire yesterday. Governor Tim Walz said Friday it has about $65 million left from the $200 million originally set aside. Other signed laws include banning child marriage, requiring drug manufacturers to make their prices public information, and earmarking federal dollars to ensure safe and orderly elections. Some relief today for St. Louis County property owners impacted by COVID-19. The county board voted to waive late fees on this first half of this year's property tax payments, which are due on Friday. Now, property owners have until July 15th to pay without a penalty. County leaders say by law they cannot change the deadline when taxes are due, but waiving the late fees essentially does the same thing. This comes after some business owners told the board they wouldn't be able to pay on time because their income plummeted during COVID-19 restrictions. Property owners have to prove they've been financially impacted by COVID-19 to qualify. We have details on our website. Pigeon Lake, Wisconsin continues being a headache for residents. You'll remember back in June of 2018, the town of Drummond was taken over by historic flooding. 18 inches of rain drowned the area completely, causing shut down roads and flooded homes. Residents say it's only gotten worse. CBS3's Leanne Valdez spoke to a couple in Drummond who says after months of trying to find a solution, they're taking matters into their own hands.
This is my spot. This is my happy place.
For Tricia Bantle and her husband Charlie, their cabin on Pigeon Lake holds a special place in their hearts.
The piece of land was bought in 1967, so I was a little girl.
Like their relationship over the years, their cozy lakefront space has grown.
My husband and I have remodeled.
So when the day came to pick up and move, it was tough.
It's hard to watch.
Move their cabin, that is.
And this lake could go up 4 more feet vertically, and if it did that, then we weren't sure we would be okay.
They figured the rising water levels on Pigeon Lake have caused them enough trouble. So they took their cabin and moved it 50 yards from the water.
We had the opportunity and the ability to pick the cabin up and move it to some higher ground on our land.
The cost to move, $11,000.
There's several people on the lake that aren't that fortunate.
Bantle is also president of the Pigeon Lake Association. They're working to get Pigeon Lake mapped as a flood zone, which she says would make the area eligible for FEMA money.
And then the folks that have water, their homes are in the lake or they're constantly pumping, that then they'd be eligible for FEMA funds to help them with their situation.
Wisconsin Senator Janet Bewley says the Pigeon Lake area may or may not qualify as a floodplain under federal guidelines because it is a seepage lake, meaning it doesn't have an inlet or outlet.
I hope that we find that the federal government will agree that this is a unique circumstance, and whether or not it completely applies to someone's definition of what a flood is.
Either way, Bewley has agreed to write a letter of support for the lake.
Yes, I would, because I've seen firsthand what it looks like.
Until then, the Bantles will continue to do what they can to salvage their memories.
I don't think the water's going to get us up there.
Drummond will know this fall if they qualify for the grant. Still to come on Live, local CBS 3 snowbirds are making their return to northern states, how they're navigating the journey during the pandemic.
Record high is 84 degrees from 1940. Of course, we set some record lows this morning. And next week, we'll start to warm up, maybe into the 70s, not quite the 80s. But we'll talk about this transition in temperatures coming up in just a few more minutes.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS 3.
Shopping for a new kitchen at Skips has never been better. Take home your dream kitchen today with Skips Fruitwood Oak Cabinets in painted or dark shaker styles. You can rely on Skips for quality and durability at affordable prices. Stop by with your measurements and see how you can take home beautifully painted or stained cabinets today at a truly affordable price. Visit us online at skipshomecenter.com or stop in to see our showroom at 4728 Rice Lake Road, Duluth.
We want to say thank you.
Thank you.
To the first responders.
Thank you.
To the truck drivers.
And delivery people. Thank you.
Thank you. To the doctors.
The nurses and all the hospital workers.
The grocery store workers.
The janitors.
And sanitation workers.
Show them kindness, patience, and gratitude.
They are the real heroes.
Thank you for all of your bravery and hard work.
Thank you all.
Powerful change occurs when people unite. We unite people to activate positive change, to make lives better. Help us fight for what's right for all. Basic needs, access to health care, a good education, and financial stability. There's strength in numbers. Join us and live united. HLUnitedWay.org.
On behalf of the over 400,000 accredited businesses that support our services across North America, BBB salutes those individuals who cannot shelter in place. Many remain on the front lines, delivering essential services, often at great risk and sacrifice, to enrich or save lives in this time of desperate need. Thank you. Eventually, the all clear will sound, and we will begin returning to normal. Hopefully, we will never forget how much we missed our normal while it was away.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live, local, CBS 3. CBS 3 weather is brought to you by Kerry Toyota. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
So let's talk about this morning's temperatures. They were chilly. Looking towards Orr, 25 degrees, Hibbing, 20, Hayward, 20 as well. Those are two of the three communities that had records this morning. So let's move on and talk about those towns. And International Falls at 18 was a fresh record. There's Hayward at 20, fresh record. Hibbing tied its record. Bottom line, though, pretty brisk around the region. But this morning should have been the last. Increasing clouds tonight will lead to increasing temperatures, and they'll slowly but steadily increase from 50s tomorrow to perhaps 70s by this time next week. But right now, 44 is what we have, and the sky is still clear. But with a low pressure system coming to us from the west, well, we are going to cloud up by tomorrow morning. Wind right now is southeasterly, 6 miles per hour, and the relative humidity, 32%. It's been dry. The fire danger has been persistent, but with an 80% chance for rain tomorrow, hopefully that problem goes away for a while. Current temperatures, we're looking at 39 Orr, 31 Hibbing, 37 Grand Rapids, and same deal for Ely and Two Harbors, 44 on Park Point, 41 for Moose Lake, and 41 degrees for places like Solon Springs, and even Superior. 31 currently in Watersmeet, low 30s from Ironwood, towards the upper 30s in Ashland. And bottom line again is tomorrow morning, probably low temps in the 30s rather than the teens and 20s. Doppler map right now. High pressure had a hold of us for several days, cool high pressure, but now finally from the west, the low pressure system's approaching. And squint a little bit if you have to, but you can see the clouds starting to filter in higher up right now, but lowering and thickening, a good sign of a warm front and a low pressure system. A low pressure system that's going to deliver an 80% chance of rain around the region tomorrow. It may start very slowly in the morning, build up in the afternoon, but then keep going through Thursday morning. And by the time we get into Thursday afternoon, rain totals should look like this around our area. Could be close to a ½ inch in Hibbing. And Two Harbors gets that as well. 4/10 for the Twin Ports, maybe a ¼ inch towards Orr, and 1/3 to about a ½ inch for many towns in northwestern Wisconsin, and perhaps even the Upper Peninsula. So it should go a long way in fighting that fire danger problem we've been facing. Low temps tonight we face in Minnesota run from 30 to 34. That's an increase. It's 29 to 35 in Wisconsin and Michigan tonight as clouds increase. 54 to 60 for the high temps in Wisconsin tomorrow. But keep in mind, it'll be a cloudy day with an 80% chance of afternoon rain approaching that region. And in Minnesota, high temps will be 40s by the lake, 50s inland with that same 80% rain chance coming around in the afternoon and then persisting into Thursday morning. And then temperatures will persist and increasing. They'll go to 62 Thursday, 65 Friday, 60s for Saturday, Sunday. Saturday may have some showers with a partly sunny sky, but Sunday could be a very beautiful day. And there we go. By next Tuesday, 75 degrees in conjunction with a low pressure system, two forms of lift that may lift rapidly enough to act as a little aggravating factor in the sky and kick out a chance for some thunderstorms, Tony.
We'll keep our eye on that. Thanks, Dave. The pandemic is making it difficult for snowbirds to return home during the summertime. With stay-at-home orders and travel restrictions in place all across the country, the journey north for some has been anything but easy. CBS 3's John Cardinelli spoke with one snowbird about her adventure back home.
Lori Cunningham has been a snowbird for 2 years.
I really don't like the cold. I can't stand the cold.
Every year, she moves down to sunny Arizona to escape Minnesota's frigid winters. But this year, when it was time to return to her cabin camper on Sand Lake in Pine County, she learned there was no home to return to.
I would have come back the first weekend in May, but the campground I come to is closed and won't let anybody in now until at least the 22nd.
Snowbirds all across the nation now face the same question. Do I travel back home or stay where I am?
They can come back if they want, and if they come back to Minnesota, we're just encouraging them to also abide by the Minnesota governor's stay-at-home order.
With temperatures rising in Arizona,
105, 106, 107.
Cunningham couldn't take the heat and decided to travel home.
It's kind of hard because I'm staying with my friend now and living in her basement until they'll open and let me in. So I don't really have any place to stay.
And while she is not stuck inside of her own home,
our highest recommendation for anyone, including snowbirds, is just to stay at home when you're able to.
She is staying at a home in the place she likes being for now.
Other than the cold, I'm glad to be back.
For snowbirds returning home from domestic travel, self-quarantine is optional. However, if one is returning from international travel, the CDC recommends a 14-day quarantine period. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, schools all across the region are scrambling to come up with new and innovative ways to hold graduation ceremonies.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by, ready to help.
Our health professionals are working tirelessly to keep us safe. Our showrooms are now open, and for your convenience, you can now shop online in-store, or by personal appointment. With any $499 purchase, Home will donate $50 to feed our local heroes. And for you, our neighbors, we've made our stores safe, and we're offering our best pricing with up to 15% off sale prices, plus free no-contact delivery during this unprecedented event. Help us feed our local heroes, and we can't wait to see you back at Home Furniture.
At UCare, we've been decomplicating Medicare plans in Minnesota for a long time. In fact, we've been offering Medicare Advantage plans longer than anyone else. Our Medicare Advantage plans are affordable, and 96% of Minnesota providers accept UCare. So if your provider practices at any of these clinics or hospitals, you can likely keep them. To learn the basics and see how UCare Medicare Advantage plans compare to others, visit ucare.org/TV.
Let's drive forward together in a new Duluth Dodge Ram Warlock Northwoods edition. 0 down, 36-month lease, $248 a month. True 0 down. It's a Duluth Dodge Blue Ribbon lease. Duluth Dodge 4755 Miller Trunk Highway or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Train Wreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
On behalf of the over 400,000 accredited businesses that support our services across North America, BBB salutes those individuals who cannot shelter in place. Many remain on the front lines, delivering essential services, often at great risk and sacrifice, to enrich or save lives in this time of desperate need. Thank you. Eventually, the all clear will sound, and we will begin returning to normal. Hopefully, we will never forget how much we missed our normal while it was away.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Seniors all across the state have had their special year flipped upside down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, 2 Iron Range high schools are giving the seniors some closure by getting creative. Both the Hibbing and Chisholm administrations announced last week they will be having in-person graduations to give their seniors the recognition they deserve. Chisholm's graduation will be held in the parking lot while the students social distance. Hibbing's will hold a drive-through style graduation. Both graduations will have some parts pre-recorded and broadcasted on the radio.
We made a financial commitment from the district and the radio station to do what it would take in order to get this program off for the kids, because that's the least we could do given the situation that they were in the past year.
Principals for both schools say they plan on having the graduations on the original dates. Other Northland schools are also making changes to graduation plans. Grand Rapids will hold a live stream ceremony. Nashwauk, Keewatin, and Deer River seniors will drive up to get their diplomas. In Floodwood, graduates will come into the school with their families and each walk across the stage individually. School officials know this is a stressful time for everyone, so students' mental health has also been a big focus of theirs.
The curriculum component, delivering education, is something that we are used to doing, but when families are under stress, when under a stressful situation, children are in a stressful situation, that mental health component and engagement becomes even more important.
Itasca Community College has their first of 3 graduations tonight. They plan to hold an in-person ceremony broken down into small groups based on areas of study. Coming up in sports, how local sports bars are eagerly awaiting the return of baseball. Kelly Hinseth is coming up with sports in just a bit.
Eye on Mining is brought to you by Iron Mining Association and Range Regional Airport.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
I'm Dr. Carolyn Phelps, licensed psychologist. In the wake of this pandemic, many of us are feeling over-challenged and overwhelmed. If you or someone you care about is struggling with anxiety, depression, or any other mental health problem, please know this: getting help matters. Mental health care is essential care, and it's still available. Simply contact a local mental health care provider yourself or ask someone you trust whom they'd recommend. Now more than ever, reach out for help.
Whether you're watering the plants or walking the dog, Fleet Farm has what you need. This week, get spring savings on things like Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, $39.99 after rebate. And Taste of the Wild Large Bag Dog Food, $5 off our low fleet price. Resolute Marine and RV Deep Cycle Batteries, $15 off with exchange. And Deluxe Hanging Baskets, $17.99. This spring, no matter the job, we've got you covered. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out.
Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Baseball fans received some good news yesterday. Major League Baseball announced a loose plan to hold games without fans that would start the weekend of July 4th. But with no fans in the stands, bars are hopeful that this could be the sign that they reopen sooner rather than later. CBS3's Ryan Campo talked with bar owners today on what this announcement means for them.
Major League Baseball owners gave the go-ahead Monday, making a proposal to the Players Union that could lead to the coronavirus-delayed season starting around the 4th of July weekend.
Sports are huge. They drive business into your bar all the time.
As bars across the Northland remain closed due to stay-at-home orders, owners are hopeful this could be a sign of good things to come.
We're hoping the 26th will let us have at least maybe a third of our business back. Can we, put tables and chairs here or there? People can go outside. We have a big outside area where people can go.
Sandy Steffen, Champions Lounge manager, says they've lost about 90% of their business since they closed their doors in March, but if reopened, they are already talking plans to accommodate for baseball fans.
We're going to tailgate, have tailgate parties right here in the parking lot, outside, wherever we can, if we can have that many people.
TJ's Champions Bar in Superior isn't the only Northland bar hopeful that the return of baseball means the return of business.
Whether or not there's fans there, there's going to be staff there, there's going to be people there, they're going to have a number of people there working on the facilities. So if they're going to have those numbers of people there, there's no reason that we can't open and provide a safe environment for our customers.
Like most businesses around the Northland, Adam Bailey, owner of the Jack, has used this downtime to do projects on their business. For Bailey, who has done a complete facelift of the Jack, he says to give the bar a more sports feel to it.
Our silver lining is we're rebranding to more of a sports theme here, and we're trying to invest a little bit of money into our businesses. So we're hoping that with the opening of Major League Baseball that we can use that rebrand to drive some business to our bars.
The MLB and the Players Union did meet today, but the MLB did not make an economic proposal. Discussions are expected to continue. Closer to home, the UMD women's hockey team released their home matchups for this upcoming year. It begins on Saturday, September 26th with their annual exhibition game against the Minnesota Whitecaps. Without really knowing when the next time the team will get to be all together, it's certainly been a time to adapt and work with what they've got where they are. The team named their captains officially last week. Newly appointed senior captain Ashton Bell says they've already started looking ahead to next year. That was no matter what the schedule slated out to look like.
Coaches have already reached out to us about meeting like once every 2 weeks, just like talking about stuff and about the season coming up. So yeah, we already have a plan in place for that. Yeah, it's been odd, but I think we've adapted.
And Major League Soccer is considering bringing every team to Florida in order to resume its season. A report in the Washington Post says the league may gather all 26 teams in Orlando and play games at the Disney Sports Complex. More than 1,000 players, coaches, and support staff would be housed in a quarantine resort near Disney World while the games are played with no fans in attendance. Officials with MLS or the Players Association would not comment or the report when asked about the plan. League games are currently on hold until at least June 8th. That is going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Skin Renewal Center, reminding you to apply sunscreen 15 minutes before heading out for fun in the sun.
With your support, Home has delivered 20,000 meals to our local heroes. You've allowed us into your home for 30 years, and you can continue to count on us. Thank you, and also thanks to all our home employees. Together, when it comes to staying safe, we'll make sure there's no place like home.
At Papa Murphy's, we know family time is more important than ever. So we're helping by offering online ordering everywhere and delivery and curbside pickup where we can, so you can keep family time as normal as possible. Papa Murphy's, we're in this together.
You've got questions and plenty of work to get done. At Northland Lawn, Sport and Equipment, we're here to help. We can meet with you on FaceTime, Skype, or Zoom, or schedule an after-hours appointment to limit public exposure. We'll pick up and deliver parts and equipment, and we have discounted parts and service appointments. We're all in this together, and together, we'll get the job done right.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for spring to arrive. I just purchased my unlimited monthly pass from Arrowhead Transit. And I can bring my kids on the bus with me too, for free. We go to the playground. Yay! Or the park. Or the beach.
Mom, the bus is here.
Take the bus. The Arrowhead Transit Bus.
New Duluth Auto is the Duluth used car dealer. We have plenty of makes and models to choose from. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, and we even carry multiple options for our most popular vehicle, the Subaru Forester. Large cargo space, all-wheel drive, what's not to love? All of our vehicles are priced under $20,000. To make these deals even sweeter, there is a 1 to 5 year warranty included on all vehicles. Give us a call, stop by, or view our inventory online at newduluthauto.net. Because here at New Duluth Auto, we are your Duluth used car dealer.
Northland, when you want the most new country, make the switch to Cat Country 98.9 KTCO.
Never met a girl like you. What makes you country?
#1 for the most new country.
Home Sleep Express has more mattresses than any other retailer. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at Sleep Express. Right now, get 6-year financing on Tempur-Pedic, Purple, Heirloom, and more. With more selection at the best price, why shop anywhere else but Home Sleep Express?
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
International Falls' Smokey the Bear statue appears to be applying its usual prevention message to something else these days. That would be the spread of COVID-19. Smokey, who usually asks people to prevent the spread of forest fires, is now donning a face mask during the COVID-19 pandemic. Jan and Dale Johnson of International Falls sent these photos to CBS3 of Smokey wearing the mask, which reads, "No bear hugs today." Hey, he looks pretty good sporting a mask, though.
Only you can prevent COVID-19.
There you go.
Take it away, Dave.
Little rain coming in for us tomorrow, perhaps?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good chance. Upwards of an 80% chance. It'll build slowly, cloudy in the morning,
After lunch, then we start to get towards that 80, even 90% shot. And once it gets done shooting by Thursday afternoon, we could have a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rain around the area, which hopefully will put down the fire danger for Smoky for at least a little while. Then Friday's gorgeous, sunny and 65. Saturday, maybe a few more showers, but Sunday 64 and sunny, followed by a warm up towards 75 by Tuesday, which may help trigger some very spring-like thunderstorms.
All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.